statement that if there is anyone responsible for stoking religious wars in this country, it is the Supreme Court. He made this remark during his larger observation that the Supreme Court is transgressing its boundaries, and that if it carries on like this, then might as well shut down the parliament. Far from applauding his brave stand, one that resonates very strongly with 1 billion Indians, his own party has distanced itself from his remarks. This is cowardly and shameful, because there was absolutely nothing wrong in what Dr. Nishikant Dubey said. Let me give you 9 clear-cut instances where the Supreme Court, in overlooking as well as overseeing blatant discrimination against the Hindus, not only seeded resentment, it stoked the possibility of religious wars in this country. Here they are. Number 1, on the matter of Kashmiri Hindus, the same Supreme Court that constituted a high-powered bench to look at the abrogation of 370, that was essentially a legislative decision, turned the other way when it came to opening the cases of criminality in 1990 against Kashmiri Hindus, saying, quote, too much time has elapsed. This after the same Supreme Court constituted an SIT to look into the cases of criminality in 1984 against the Sikhs that happened 6 years before the Kashmiri Hindu genocide. Their homes were seized and demolished, their jobs were snatched, their temples were vandalized, they were threatened, raped, kidnapped, killed. They were ethnically cleansed. And the Supreme Court, it said we will not reopen these cases because too much time had elapsed. If this is not seeding resentment among the Hindus and stoking religious wars, what is? 2, on the matter of the Waqf Act. For 30 years, the Supreme Court never found illegal an act that gave Muslims the power to claim any property as their own, that allowed them to annex any land housing a functional mosque. But today, it sits to adjudicate whether a version that curtails these draconian excesses is illegal or not, and opined moving Waqf by user would be an issue. For 30 years, the Supreme Court never found unsecular an act that gave Muslims the power to use thousands of crores of taxpayers' money to conduct survey of religious property. For 30 years, the Supreme Court never found unjust that a parallel extrajudicial tribunal decided with finality the fate of the aggrieved whose land and property were usurped. But today, it sits to adjudicate whether a version that curtails these draconian excesses is illegal or not. Did the Supreme Court ever wonder what if the tables were turned? Because the truth is, every mosque in India is built on Sanatan land, including Jama Masjid. What if a Hindu board, armed through the Waqf equivalent Sanatan Act, laid claim to Jama Masjid? How would Muslims have felt if they had to first plead their case in front of a Sanatan tribunal rather than a court? For